Now, can you think of that one person in the office as you get ready to go in today that just is kind of bugging you? You know, whether they're stabbing you in the back, or whether maybe they've been spreading rumors about you, you know, and you got to get this thing solved once and for all. You're just not sure how to do it. Or maybe your relationship with the boss isn't near what you were hoping it was going to be. Well, this morning we have some tips on dissolving those disputes at the office. The author of 6 Keys for Dissolving Disputes is Loretta Love Huff, and she joins us here. Good morning.
Good morning.
After many years in human resources at some top companies over in California, you decided to yourself, there's so much going on here. There are a lot of knowledge that I could impart to people. You put this book together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I found that when I was an HR executive that I was spending most of my days talking to people about how to talk to people that they were frustrated with. And I thought, well, obviously there's some value I'm adding here, so let me share this with some more people.
Okay, so what we want to do is give you some different scenarios that people might be facing at work right now, and some specific ideas that you have on how to resolve that type of thing. Let's start with the boss-employee relationship.
Okay.
Let's say somebody was, you know, they were hired, they were hopeful that things were going to just go very smoothly with the boss, but instead they just sense either that there's some tension there, or that they either can't get along with the boss, or that the boss, frankly, is just kind of overbearing on them. What do you do?
Well,
besides quit, right?
Right, and that's always an option.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've said, and if people have heard me speak for a while, they've heard me say this, is that we all have more options than we generally see, and more control than we tend to take. So if you're at work and you're working for somebody who seems overbearing, you may be thinking, I don't have any power here, I don't have any options, but we always do. So I encourage people to try to figure that out. So the first thing is, they need to talk to the boss. Now that may be difficult, because people are afraid of talking to their boss. But the only way that conflicts get resolved is in communication. And I found that when I was an HR executive, and even now as a coach, that people are reluctant to talk about it. They think conflict is bad, and so they don't talk.
So step one is to go in, and even if the boss is intimidating to you, even if he or she gives you that stare down look or whatever, plow forward with what it is you want to say. Now,
how do you do that?
What would you say?
You would say, well, it depends on exactly what the situation is, but you could start off with how you are feeling. So the one thing that you don't want to do is put the boss on the defensive. So you don't want to say you're a jerk, or you're controlling, or give some bad label for how the boss is. But you could say, you know, when you don't respond to my emails in 2 days, or you interrupt me when I'm in a staff meeting, I feel unvalued. And I'd really like it if you could hear me out. So you want to talk about what they're doing specifically, rather than any label that you've given them.
And how it impacts you.
Right, exactly.
Okay, and then if, so that covers the boss situation. Now we want to get into co-worker problems, right? Okay, so we got people here on the floor crew saying, yeah. What about somebody who you just can't trust, you know? I mean, they smile to your face, but they're stabbing you in the back.
Again, and at work, things happen, conflicts arise over different things. So resources are scarce, and so people are sneaky about trying to get resources away from somebody else. If they're stabbing you in the back, again, it's a communication issue. So talk to the person and say, you know, I heard that you said so-and-so to this person, and it really bothered me that I heard that. Now, is it true? So you could not accuse them necessarily of having said that, but approach them with the information that you have, and ask them, did you actually say this?
And just by virtue of bringing it up, it might put a quick stop to it, because they had no idea that it was getting back to you, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay. Let me ask you about one more. Let's say there seems to be a lot of office gossip, right? I mean, offices are notorious for gossip, but what if you find yourself at the center of the gossip?
Like you're the subject of it?
Yeah.
Again, I would go back to those people that you think are talking about you and say, you know, I've heard you say this.
Right.
And it's really, I feel disrespected.
Okay.
And I'm angry that you would say something like that, and I'm hurt.
Right.
So again, if you talk about your feelings, people can't, they can't deny that you might be feeling that way.
But if you find yourself in the situation before where you're one-on-one with a coworker, I mean, you can really confront them about that. I don't know if confront's the right word, but talk to them about it. In this situation where it's multiple people and it becomes like, well, not really. That was more, she said this or he said that, and you can't really, you get in the runaround and not a straight answer. Then what do you do?
Well, sometimes you could go to your boss.
Yes.
So you could say, especially if these are people on your team,
Yeah.
I've been discovering that people are saying these things. They're damaging my reputation. I want to make sure that you and I have a good reputation. And I've already tried to talk with them.
And they aren't responding.
And they aren't responding.
So could you fire
if
them
you
all?
could, well,
Was that going too far?
Probably not. That's a little far. But if you could talk with them, or if you could get us all together
Right.
and have us talk about it. People have different ways of responding to each other. We have different styles of dealing with conflict.
Right.
We have different values. Different things are important to us. So conflict is inevitable. We just need to find really productive ways to deal with it.
Don't be afraid with it.
Right.
Just deal with it. Excellent. Loretta Love Huff, thanks for being with us today. 6 keys for dissolving disputes. On the website, if you want more info, is simple enough, dissolvingdisputes.com.
Great.
Thanks.
What
Thanks
if
so
you're
much.
a prize fighter and you have to get in the ring? I mean, you're going to face conflict.
We're getting paid for it then, so you should just do it.